So now let's talk about what a main actor is and what it's used for. Okay. In Swift 5.5 and later, at main actor is a new way to ensure that certain operations are performed on the main thread. It's a part of Swift's new concurrency model, which includes async await, syntax, and actors. When you mark a class or a method with the at main actor, you're telling Swift that the class or the method should run on the main thread. This is similar to how you use dispatch queue.main.async in UIKit to ensure that UI updates are performed on the main thread. Here's an example of how you might use at main actor in SwiftUI. So here's an example right here. SwiftUI, you have an observable object, you have data, and this is where you fetch your data. In this case, you're using async await, right? This function, this method fetch data from network has async inside of this function. In the implementation, await, and of course, I have a video that discusses async await. We're not doing that right here. We're discussing at main actor. But if you want to check out how async await works for asynchronous functionality, click the link. It should be in the description. It should be in this video. Okay. In the example, the update data method is guaranteed to run on the main thread because my view model class is annotated with at main actor. This is crucial because it modifies my data, which is at published property. It changes to the at published property, trigger UI updates, and those updates must be done on the main thread. In UIKit, you might do something similar with dispatch.main.async. And this is it right here. And of course, if you've been following my videos, you already know how to do this. Basically, this is a view model. You have a function that calls. We have a closure inside fetch data from network, and it gets data. And of course, this data is ran right here, dispatch main.async. Inside this data is put on the main queue and updating the class property my data on the main queue. In this UIKit example, the completion handler of the fetch data from network is dispatched to the main queue to ensure that my data is updated on the main thread. So at main actor in SwiftUI is similar to dispatch queue.main.async in UIKit, that they both ensure that certain operations are performed on the main thread. However, at main actor is more declarative and can be applied at the class level, not just around individual pieces of code. This makes it easier to ensure that all methods of a class are run on the main thread, which can help prevent bugs related to thread security. Okay, so we talked about what main actor is. Now let's go through this project that we did. And I usually just type it out, but I'm not going to do it this time. Why? Because I did it already, and the video of writing out the code corrupted. So here we go. We're gonna start with the image loader. Basically, this is all done in SwiftUI. I have the main actor, image loader, observable object is what I'm implementing, and I make this published. Why? Because whenever this changes from nil to an image, it will change the value that is coming out, right? Right. So once this is changed here, then I have a task, right? Then I have a do try catch, and I try await session URL.shared, get the data from this URL, which is right here. Use it to create an image. Okay, if this UI image is there, I'm going to take it, and I'm going to take this UI image and put it right here in this image, UI image. Right, if the image isn't there, then we throw an error. Okay, now I'm going to make an instance of this UI image in our async image view, another custom object. Now, this is where we declare our main actor right here. That means what takes place here will occur on the main queue, right? This will occur on the main queue. Okay. Async image view right here. Create this object, and it is what is a view. Okay. State object, again, when the value inside this is changed, right? Just like the publish, except there's no observable object, right? So state object, when this is changed, when this loader is changed, guess what happens? You can get the value, right? So the values are updated. And I'll show you what I mean. Image loader, I have an instance of this loader. And I have the I have a property right here, URL of type URL, going to the body and group. This is just for functionality. This is not for aesthetic purposes, right? It has no aesthetic impact. But this is where we keep our code right here. So, and I will get into group. Maybe I'll do a separate video on group and how it's used. But anyway, if loader.image is changed, right? If there is an image, I'm going to take this image, make it resizable, and have the aspect ratio to fit. Otherwise, we show the progress view, right? So when this is basically set, their loader doesn't actually have an image property. It's nil, right? So what's going to happen is you're going to see the progress view, okay? And then when I do loader.load, right? When I do loader.load, it will get the URL. Then loader, the values of the loader is changed. This loader is changed. At which point, when loader is changed, I'll get the image and resize it, and progress view goes away, and this image shows in the content view. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. Place. And there we go. And now we have our image of Hamzat Chimaev, right? And let's do something else, okay? If we can go, let's go, and what I'm going to do is, instead of here, I'm going to stop this right here, okay? Right? So there is something before on appear, right? So let's go ahead and let's do this again. And let's stop before on appear. Okay. So when we do on appear, there is no image, right? However, and so this is it right here. We step through this, right? Right. And I'm going to step through this again. As you can see the progress view real quickly, and then you see the image. Okay. But this is where the action takes place with the assistance of our custom object image loader. So I hope that explains it all to you, and on to the next.